the quiet preparation before the storm. When I met Rachel at a friend's engagement party in Portland, I didn't walk in expecting anything life-changing. I'm not the kind of man who gets swept up by charm or charisma, but something about her lingered. Maybe it was her confidence, loud and unfiltered. Maybe it was the way she commanded the room without lifting a finger. Big laugh, bold stories, red wine teeth and eyes that didn't look away when she talked. The kind of woman who'd argue with a bartender about why the cocktail menu was too safe. I was the opposite, reserved, analytical, the type to scan a room, not fill it. I worked in IT, mostly back-end systems. I liked things that followed logic, things I could fix. She thrived in marketing, bouncing from campaign to campaign, brand to brand, chaos to chaos. That night, we ended up on the balcony, away from the music and the people trying too hard. We talked for hours, about everything and nothing, about whether love still made sense in a world that moves so fast, people forget who they are mid-sentence. She said love only worked when both people understood the rules. I didn't ask what rules. I thought she meant honesty, loyalty, respect. Turns out she had a different playbook entirely. It was fast after that. The kind of relationship that burns bright early. She dragged me to art walks and food truck festivals. I introduced her to the concept of meal prepping and automatic bill payments. She said I grounded her. I said she kept me from turning into a machine. At first, it felt like balance. Two mismatched puzzle pieces that still, somehow, locked together. A year in, we moved into a small but nice apartment downtown. Nothing glamorous, but it was ours. I paid most of the rent, her job was commission-heavy, and I never minded covering more. I thought love looked like that, like showing up for someone even when it wasn't perfectly even, like trusting their intentions even when the numbers didn't add up. But intentions. She was seeing someone else. She rolled her eyes like I'd asked if the earth was flat. "Oh my God," she said, tossing her bag on the counter. "Are we really doing this? You seriously think cheating is some big betrayal? Grow up. Cheating is normal now. Monogamy is outdated. You just don't get it." That moment didn't explode. It didn't shatter my world in one dramatic blow. It just shifted something. Quietly, permanently. Her words weren't just cruel. They were matter-of-fact, as if they were some enlightened truth I'd failed to grasp. She didn't even try to lie. Didn't beg for forgiveness or deny anything. Just dismissed the entire concept of loyalty like it was an outdated app. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything or storm out. I nodded. "Maybe you're right," I said. And she, thinking she'd won some philosophical debate, smirked and walked into the bedroom humming a tune like nothing had happened. That night I didn't sleep. I lay awake in the dark next to her, staring at the ceiling, realizing I was no longer in a relationship. I was in a hostage situation dressed up like a romance. From that moment forward, I stopped trying to fix us. I stopped asking her to love me the way I loved her. I stopped waiting for her to come home. I started documenting. I created a new folder on my personal hard drive and labeled it simply Rachel. Inside it, I started collecting the breadcrumbs. Screenshots of flirty DMs left open on her laptop. Uber receipts that didn't match her story. Hotel bookings on our shared card with names I didn't recognize. Conversations she had on speakerphone with clients that sounded a lot more like Tinder flings. I didn't accuse. I didn't react. I observed. I was no longer a boyfriend, I was an archivist. A witness to my own emotional heist. She was robbing me in real time of trust, of love, of the future I thought we were building. She got careless. One Thursday, she brought someone home. I wasn't supposed to be there. My shift had changed last. The evolution she didn't expect. The moment Rachel left for Seattle, suitcase wheels rattling down the hallway like punctuation marks to her lie, I got to work. I had already cleared the big things, my documents, the backup drives, my personal items of value. But now it was time for the purge. Not of rage, not out of vengeance, but because I had no more space for her chaos in the life I was choosing to rebuild. This wasn't an emotional outburst. It was a clean extraction. I boxed everything with precision. Her clothes were folded, not stuffed. Her makeup sorted by type. Her shoes, paired and placed back into their original boxes when I could find them. Even her stack of branded lifestyle products, the ones she always left in the living room for work, were wrapped in tissue paper like I was packing a care package, not exiling someone from my life. I didn't break anything. I didn't throw her belongings in trash bags or leave scathing notes. I wasn't interested in chaos. I was giving her something she never gave me, clarity. I left her favorite hoodie on top, the gray one she wore when she was hungover or pretending to be fragile after a long night of partying. I wrote a note on the back of a Whole Foods receipt, because she always mocked me for buying the expensive eggs. The note said, "You said cheating is normal. So is breaking up. Don't worry. I'm just evolving." I changed the locks by noon. Our leasing office was efficient, and so was I. I updated the building's keycard access system to remove her profile. Not a trace left. The doorman, Mike, who'd watched me slowly turn into a ghost these past months, was already briefed. He agreed to receive her things and hold them for pickup. I tipped him generously. He didn't ask questions, just nodded and said, "You good, man?" I told him I would be. By late afternoon, the apartment was mine again. For the first time in nearly 3 years, the silence didn't feel like tension. Felt like peace. I sat by the window with coffee. She came back earlier than I expected. Sunday evening, just before 8 p.m. I was sitting in a cafe a few blocks away, close enough to observe the aftermath but far enough to remain untouched. I saw her step out of the Uber, sunglasses on despite the fading light, pulling her suitcase with the same careless swagger she always had. I knew the sequence that would follow. She'd try her key. It wouldn't work. Confusion first, then disbelief, then the scramble. Right on cue, my phone buzzed. 1 missed call, then 2, then a cascade of texts. "Why won't my key work? Did you change the locks? Where are you? What the hell is going on?" Then the voicemail. Her tone was sharp at first, then it cracked. "This isn't funny. Let me in. I'm standing out here with my luggage. If this is about that stupid fight, we can talk. Come on. You're really doing this." There had been no fight. That was the part that struck me most. How quickly she reframed the narrative. To her, consequences weren't real. They were punishments invented by people who failed to move on. But this wasn't vengeance. This was closure. And the doorman delivered it for me. He met her in the lobby with the boxes neatly stacked. He handed her the note. According to him, she read it twice, slowly, then sat down on one of the benches, completely still.
No yelling. No clever insults.
No performance. Just silence. That was the moment I knew. I had cut deeper with kindness and finality than anger ever could. That night, she found a way to reach me. Not by phone, email. A long one. She said it was cruel to kick her out without warning. That she never thought I'd just give up. That I blindsided her. The irony was so thick I had to read it twice. Not from guilt, but from awe at the capacity for self-deception. "I should have fought for us," she wrote. "You didn't even give me a chance." No acknowledgement of what she'd done.
No apology.
Just regret for losing control. I replied with one sentence. "You said cheating is normal. So is breaking up." She didn't respond. The silence lasted 2 weeks. In that time, I did things I hadn't done in years. Real meals, not just microwave survival. Morning jogs. I fixed things around the apartment that had been broken for months. Little things that suddenly mattered. I lit candles. I breathed. And slowly, without fanfare, I started dating again. Nothing serious. Just someone who actually asked questions and waited for the answers. Someone who didn't live like loyalty was a relic. Word got back to me through mutual friends. Rachel was staying with her cousin in a 2-bedroom apartment near the train tracks. Not exactly her dream life. She'd missed a few client calls. Lost some accounts. Apparently, her boss noticed she was distracted. Her Instagram turned quiet. Fewer beach selfies. More throwbacks. The kind of digital nostalgia people use to avoid showing their real lives. I didn't feel smug. I felt free. Do I miss her? No. I missed the version of her I met on that balcony in Portland. The one who talked about love as something sacred, something earned. But that version was a mirage. The real Rachel believed in freedom without accountability, passion without respect. She wanted modern love, but none of the modern maturity that should come with it. She wanted to cheat, lie, and call it growth. But the truth is, cheating isn't evolution. It's cowardice dressed in trendy language. It's self-sabotage hidden beneath hashtags. And when someone shows you that version of themselves, the best thing you can do, the most evolved thing you can do, is walk away with dignity and silence. She told me to evolve, so I did.